Welcome back to my channel. Today, we explore the value of specific coins. The top 4 Washington silver quarter-dollar coins value in today's market. So let's get started. First up, the 1979 Washington quarter with a D mint mark specifically. The ones made of silver, in good condition, even with some damage on the back. Now first things first, most 1979. Washington quarters are made of copper nickel, not silver. But a few rare error coins were struck on 40% silver planchets, left over from the bicentennial era. These rare silver error coins with a Denver D mint mark are highly sought after by collectors. If you're lucky enough to find one, even in good condition, you're looking at a value between $250 to $1,000, depending on the weight and composition. One way to tell if it's silver is the weight. A silver error coin will be slightly heavier. Also, look at the coin's edge. If it's pure silver with no copper line, you might have a gem. But what if your 1979 D quarter is damaged on the reverse side? Damage will definitely affect value, but not always drastically, especially if it's a confirmed silver error. Even with backside damage, a silver 1979 D quarter can still fetch $100 to $300 from the right buyer. As of today's market in 2025, collectors are actively hunting for these errors. Online auctions and grading services like PCGS and NGC have listed graded silver error quarters from 1979 D for over $1,500 in high grade. So check your change, especially those older quarters with a little extra shine and weight. Who knows? That scratched up 1979 D quarter might be worth more than you think. Next up, the 1967 Washington quarter without a mint mark. Is it silver? Is it valuable? And how much is it worth in extra fine condition in today's market? Let's find out. First, a little background. The Washington quarter has been a staple of U.S. coinage since 1932. But here's a key fact. Quarters minted after 1964 were no longer made of silver. That includes the 1967 quarter in 1965. Due to a nationwide silver shortage, the U.S. Mint switched to a copper-nickel-clad composition. So even though the 1967 Washington quarter might look silver, it's not. It's made of 75% copper and 25% nickel, and it was struck without a mint mark. Now, let's talk value. The 1967 quarter had a massive mintage, over 1.5 billion coins. So, from a collector's standpoint, it's not rare. However, condition matters. Coins in extra fine, or XF, condition do hold a bit more value than your typical pocket change. In today's market, a 1967 Washington quarter in extra fine condition is typically worth between $1 to $2, mainly for its collectible appeal. Keep in mind, this value fluctuates based on demand, coin shows, and online marketplaces. There are exceptions. If your 1967 quarter has a mint error like a double die, off-center strike, or clipped planchet, it could be worth significantly more, sometimes upwards of $50 to $100 or more, depending on the error. But for a standard, no mint mark, XF grade 1967 quarter, you're likely looking at around $1 to $2. So, while the 1967 Washington quarter might not make you rich, it's a fun piece of history and a great start for beginner collectors. Got a unique quarter or coin collection story? Drop it in the comments below. Next up, the 1966 Washington quarter without a mint mark. But here's the twist. We're looking at one in extra bad condition and how much it's really worth in today's market. First things first, the 1966 quarter isn't made of silver. In fact, the U.S. Mint stopped using 90% silver in quarters after 1964. So, The 1966 version is a copper nickel-clad coin, and that's important when we talk about value. Now, because there's no mint mark on this coin, you might think it's rare, but actually, in 1966, the mint didn't use mint marks at all to discourage coin hoarding. Over 821 million of these were made. That's right, 821 million. Okay, so what if you've got one that's in really rough shape, worn down, scratches, maybe even some discoloration? Unfortunately, even if it looks old and vintage, the value in this condition is pretty low. In today's market, a 1966 Washington quarter in extra bad condition is typically worth just face value 25 cents. That's because there's no silver content, and worn coins aren't sought after by collectors. But hey, if you enjoy coin collecting or are curious about rare finds, keep an eye out for error coins or special varieties. Those can be worth much more, even from 1966. Next up, the 1982 Washington quarter, without a mint mark. And yes, even in rough, dirty condition, it could still be worth something. First, a little backstory. In 1982, the U.S. Mint faced budget cuts, which meant fewer uncirculated coin sets were produced. That same year, the Philadelphia Mint, for some reason, struck quarters without their usual P-Mint mark. These no-mint mark quarters are not an error, but because of limited production and circulation wear, finding one in good shape is already tough. Now finding one at all, even dirty or worn, can still bring in some cash. So, what's it worth today? In heavily circulated and dirty condition, a 1982 no-mint mark quarter can still sell for around $3 to $10, sometimes even more if a buyer needs it for their collection. In uncirculated or higher grades, the price can shoot up to $50, $100, or beyond, depending on the condition and market demand. But be careful, cleaning coins can lower their value. If you find a 1982 quarter with no mint mark, keep it safe and get it checked out by a pro before doing anything